Welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get shit together with your snowflake. I'm here at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night. Get him in your lineups. Get him in there. And let's go get this money. Thursday, let's go. And remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. What's up? What's going on? What's happening? This is your boy, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we are going to be breaking down today's. Well, let me talk a little bit about last night's slate. But I've got a very special guest again in the house with me tonight. It is none other than the homie Samuel. I like to drum. Big bro, what's happening? How's it going? Say something to the people.
Yo, what's happening, guys? Man, excited. Another slate to jump in and talk about. Let us roll.
Wonderful. Now, I'm not sure how everything went for you last night. Please, if we having any trouble on the vocals, let me know in the YouTube fam. If you have any trouble with the vocals, please let me know what's happening. We had some difficulties last time, but I love having this guest on the show, and I want to make sure that everything is right. So, how did you do last night? How you doing? We are still in last night, I guess, because the last game of the slate just started. It's only a 4-game joint. How you doing, man? What are you looking to do today?
I mean, I'm looking good. I'm looking good. The most of my exposure was on the Minnesota Orlando and the New Orleans and Boston game. So I'm sitting okay. I'm not taking anything down, but I'm not losing anything either. So the next 2 games look like they're not going to be worth a doodle. I'm gonna just use that word. So I think I'm good. I live to see another slate.
Well, I'm holding on. I'm presently holding on to about 20th in the $10 joint over on FanDuel. So but I've only got one dude left, man. It's fucking Devin Harris. And before it's funny because before the show started, he was talking shit about dummies that played Devin Harris, and I was like sitting here like that is rich as shit, bro. What a dumb move, bro. But the stars and scrubs. You're trying to get people in. You fall in love with the big names. You get your Anthony Davis and blah 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 all that shit, and then you're left with what you're left with. So that's what I've got to fight with. Hopefully, I can make something happen. But let's go ahead, man, and jump right in, man. And I want to take a look at the first game on the slate. You know how we're rocking. It's going down. The first game, we are going to be in Charlotte, and whenever we are in Charlotte, that's me talking to my man Kimba, man. So first game we got is going to be the Washington Wizards going to Charlotte to take on the Hornets here. 212.5 point total. John Wall priced up. Now we're seeing him on DraftKings. We're seeing John Wall priced what about almost 10K over there on DK? Yeah, 9.7 for him on DK. Kimba is down to 7.5 again. What do you think about this one? Because I like the fact that it's a high total, 212.5. But I love that 1 point differential. That tells me that this could be a game that comes down to the wire, maybe even get some overtime. What do you think about this one?
I'm really liking this game, especially on the Charlotte side. I was trying to go through. I was breaking it down, looking at the matchups, and surprisingly, loved Kemba, loved Dwight, loved MKG, and Marvin Williams. I know it's a huge 10-game slate, but I'm looking at every other game, and you know what? I might be comfortable with going heavy on these earlier games because I don't see much that I like in the other games. From the Washington side, I can't do that for John Wall, man. 10K, I'm struggling on FanDuel. I'm struggling. Otto Porter at 66, okay. Marcin Gortat, yeah, him and Dwight kind of go at it. Like I think the last time they both played each other, I think he dropped 30, and I think Dwight did well too.
Dwight had a game. That game went into overtime, bro, and Dwight dropped 49. Now that was 6.7K Dwight over on DraftKings. We're seeing him a little bit more at 7.6. Yeah. But Dwight at the Beehive, man, is a thing, man. It really is. You look at how the Wizards have limited opposing centers so much this season that maybe cats are not going to be looking at him, but over the last few games at home, he's been pretty solid. 47, 43, 43, 41, a 28.75 game against Utah. Aside from that, man, dude's been balling. So I think at 7.6, he's in play for me. Of course, Kemba at the crib. I like that. Nick Batum is 5.7. Okay, tell me why I shouldn't play Nick Batum, because I like him.
Look, the reason I have no interest in Batum, Bradley Beal's defense, man. It's real. Bradley Beal's defense is real, and he's been shutting people down. And I'm not really feeling Batum. I can't. I don't know. Batum isn't jumping out. If you want to have exposure to a shooting guard, well, just go to the bench. How about you play Jeremy Lamb at 4,500?
Now to speak to that, right? I'm gonna look at Batum and Jeremy Lamb, and of course these guys have played different positions, but these cats remind me in the rotation of what they mean to their respective teams. They remind me of Dinwiddie and LeVert, where both of them never have a good game. One of them always does well. Both of them never have a good game. And if you're saying that you are emphatically against playing Nick Batum, then that's gonna really make Jeremy Lamb took my interest at 5.1 on DraftKings. You said 4.5 on FanDuel.
He's 5.1 on DraftKings?
Yeah, 5.1 on DraftKings.
Oh, yeah, can't do that on DraftKings.
Okay. And then of course Frank Kaminsky, who was a game time decision, is at 4.2. What does Frank Kaminsky, since you like this game so much, what does Frank Kaminsky, let's say he's not going to play, who does that help? Does that help the starters? Does that give Marvin Williams a little bit more floor time? I think it should at 4.3.
That makes me like Marvin Williams even more. Okay. At that 4,400 price tag against Markieff Morris.
Right.
Yeah. I wish I had a cup with some water. Pour that all over me, baby. I'm going to take Marvin Williams all day. Yes, sir.
So let's take a closer look at Bradley Beal here. We talked about him some. In an overtime game last time in Charlotte, he put up 36 points in 41 minutes. A lot of court time to only put up 36 points. And I don't even think John Wall was there for that game. Now, I could see Bradley Beal bounce back some. And you cringed a little bit when we talked about playing John Wall. But on DraftKings at 9.7, if I had to choose between Wall and Beal, I would just pay up the extra $2,000 and play John Wall here at 9.7. I like him. My wife should have gotten me tickets to this game because she knows John Wall and Kemba Walker are my two favorite players in the league. I think Wall can go out and have a really nice game here. And because I like Wall, I think Gortat is in play for me too at 5.2, even though he's against Dwight Howard.
The thing about Wall is, I'm not saying Wall is a terrible play, but I'm not going to go out of my way to fit him in. If for some reason after I've built the lineup that I have 10.1K, which is highly unlikely, and I just happen to have that left for point guard, sure, I'll throw him in, but I'm not going out of my way to fit him in.
Wonderful. Funny thing, last night's stack was the Pelicans. The Pelicans was the stack. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it actually makes sense. It makes complete utter sense. The Pelicans, man, if you look at their games, that's fantasy goodness, and I actually can't wait to get to their back-to-back game in versus Atlanta, which is next.
Wonderful. Next game we got. It's going to be the New Orleans Pelicans going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks here. We've got a 220-point total. Yet again, another high total with a very small point differential. We've got the Pelicans taking a 3-point favorite role into Atlanta. Now, I think New Orleans on a back-to-back, they're still going to pay. They're still going to play up-tempo. They're still going to play high pace. Do I think that you continue to ride all over the New Orleans Pelicans? I think that they're going to go into Atlanta and just score a bunch of points. There's going to be fantasy goodness everywhere? Probably. But this is a game where I'm going to be looking at some of the Atlanta guys, too. What do you think about this one, the flow of this game? Anthony Davis has got to get hurt at some point. When is it going to happen?
Don't say that. Don't say that, because Anthony Davis is actually on my radar. I mean, look at what this team does on back-to-backs. I mean, Anthony Davis, this current season, anytime he's been back-to-back, the guy has averaged 51 fantasy points. DeMarcus Cousins on back-to-backs this season. DeMarcus Cousins, he has averaged 49 fantasy points. I mean, Drew Holiday on back-to-backs. If you check out what he's doing on back-to-backs, he's averaging 33. And, Etuan Moore, it's probably not going to be a whole lot for Etuan Moore, but he's averaging 23 points on back-to-backs. Dude, I'm not afraid of New Orleans on this back-to-back. I think they're going to be completely fine. As a matter of fact, Davis, Cousins, Holiday, and Moore, I have interest in all those guys. Zero interest in the bench because they really don't have anybody. So these guys are locked in to 30-plus minutes. So I like the entire, except for Rondo.
So, okay. I was gonna say because Rondo's a guy who his minutes could be down considerably, and I think what that does for me, that kind of puts me in this game specifically, that puts me a little bit more on Drew Holiday at 6.7. The price didn't move. He had a very good game last night. The price did not move. I think Etuan Moore at 4.5 is another player that we can consider. We talked about Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Of course, Boogie is going to be in play here at 10.8. You said Anthony Davis at 10.5 can be in play. So what's your take on some of the Atlanta guys? You've got Taurean Prince with a game-time decision tag, along with Dwayne Dedmon, Mike Muscala, Marco Bellinelli. All of those guys, game-time decisions. What are you thinking about some of the Atlanta guys here?
Well, Kyrie Irving, I know it was an overtime game, but he dropped 38 against old man Rondo. I have absolutely no fear whatsoever in rolling out Dennis Schroeder. He is a little pricey on FanDuel at $7,800, but he's worth a look if you're not looking to pay a lot for a stud, a point guard. Kent Bazemore, you know what? I remember last season I never wanted to touch this guy. Never. I think he was a candidate for Snowflake of the Night quite a few times last season. Almost the entire season, it felt like. But this is a completely different Bazemore this season. I mean, the guy has dropped 53 points. I mean, shocked me. Right. And Drew Holiday, I mean, his defense, I mean, we saw what Marcus, I don't know if Marcus Smart was matched up with him today, but he had one hell of a game. Jaylen Brown, say it again.
And I also want to interrupt you real quick because I want to while you were dropping those points, I want to hit you with the last 5 games from Dennis Schroeder, the guy who said that you like, and this is against some pretty solid defensive groups: 50, 38, 37, 54, 42, and 3 of those games were against San Antonio, Portland, and Washington. This dude has had some really good games, and all of this is at home.
So there's no hesitation with Dennis Schroeder. No. You can fire him up. He's getting pretty close to a core play, actually.
I was thinking that. Yeah. And then Bay's at 5.5. I like that. I like it even more if there's no Taurean Prince. If Taurean Prince does play, I think he's in play at 4.9. We saw what the New Orleans Pelicans can do, and I say this all the time. The pace of a game is usually dictated by the best player on the floor. And last night, the pace of that game against the Boston Celtics was dictated solely by Anthony Davis. He was the best player on the floor. And that guy, he gets up and down the court. He starts transition with blocked shots, with long rebounds. So I think the same thing can happen here. That's why teams against New Orleans Pelicans are always good to have a look at. And that's why I think a few of these spots for the Atlanta Hawks that people are not going to be wanting to pay attention to should definitely not go overlooked. And also John Collins at 4.7 if we don't see Dwayne Dedmon and or Mike Muscala. So the next game we've got is going to be the San Antonio Spurs going to Brooklyn to take on the Nets here. There's not yet an over-under for this game yet. Probably, I think, because Paul Gasol seems to be a game-time decision. And plus, you know how they go, man. We can get popped at a moment's notice. Kawhi Leonard at 8.7. Looks to be usable, of course, against the Brooklyn Nets. Sometimes you just stack teams against them. Dinwiddie's at 6.5 for Brooklyn. What are some names and faces that you want us to take a look at as far as this one? Or do we fade this game altogether?
I was close. I was close to fading it. I was so close to fading it. However, there is some goodness in here. Point guards have done really well. I know Tony Parker, he really isn't the most sexiest option that you think of. Come to think of it, the last game that he did play against Atlanta, he dropped 26. So, I don't know. If you believe in Rondo, I guess you could fire him up, but I'm not. I'm not going to do it at 5,700. But LMA, because of Pau Gasol's status of the game time decision, I'm definitely going to be giving him a look. I really feel like Gasol's going to get ruled out. I mean, that's just how San Antonio rocks. So Parker and LMA are the only two options that I like. I know folks are going to have some love for Kawhi at 8,900. I just like, there's other guys in more competitive games that I feel that I'm going to target that can do what Kawhi Leonard can do. And I'm really concerned about this quad injury that he's coming back from, because the reason he didn't play the last game was saying that he was bothered by the quad. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind when you're about to drop 8,900 on somebody. And from Brooklyn, Dinwiddie, I definitely like Dinwiddie. Old man Tony Parker, he is too small for Dinwiddie, way too small. Unless they switch that up defensively, he's going to have his way. And Alan Crabb, those are the two I like from Brooklyn.
Alan Crabb, okay. Now, I probably, for all like intents and purposes, man, this is a show where you're supposed to look at it and uncover and look under every nook and cranny. But I'm gonna tell you for real, I probably won't have exposure to nail motherfucker in this game.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm serious. Okay, Dinwiddie maybe at 6'5", is a guy that I might want to look at. Danny Green at 4.7, maybe somebody that I might look at as a salary saving option. But for the most part, I can't. This is a game I don't. The uncertainty, man, with not knowing if Paul Gasol is going to play, not knowing, because you look at that Kawhi Leonard with a soft tissue injury, those things easily can be re-aggravated, and his shoulders fucked up, the quad. Like, come on, man, it's just too much. It's too much.
That's why LMA is gold. I mean, don't knock LMA out, man. I mean, well, when we talk about, because I know position scarcity is what I mean. You have Anthony Davis. You have Porzingis, and then you have LMA and Blake Griffin. So, and then after that, it's just like blah. So, I don't know. If you have that money to pay for LMA, man, give them a look.
And these are power forwards on FanDuel, right? That's what you're
Correct.
talking about. Okay. Now,
and people think Brooklyn's going to get blown out. I'm trying to tell you, they don't. Brooklyn doesn't get blown out, man. They really don't. They really don't.
No, they're pretty scrappy and they stay in it. They actually have pulled out a few close games and won a few times this year. The guy that's really done well, the one that I like a lot, not in this game, but just overall, is Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, man. I liked him a lot even last year. I think he's a really solid young player. So next game he got is one that I am kind of excited about. It is the Detroit Pistons going to Toronto to take on the Raptors. I saw a series of tweets from the homie Rod Beard, a friend of the podcast, and he's pretty excited about Detroit going to Toronto and him making that trip out there with the team. Drummond at 8.8. You give me a guy that active, that prone to rebound against an older, kind of slower Jonas Valanciunas in this lineup with a lot of shots are gonna go up. Yo, I love Drummond.
How much did you say he was?
8.8 on DraftKings.
You have to be kidding me.
Yeah, he's 8.8 on DraftKings. I like him.
Do you have any idea how much he cost on FanDuel?
He's got to be above 9K. Easy.
He's 10.1, bro.
Oh, yes.
That's a wow. I can't believe that, man. That's a huge price discrepancy.
That is huge.
What the hell?
Drummond is my guy. I like Drummond here. I like Drummond in this spot. Then okay, I'm hit you with something else too, because Tobias Harris, we talk about him a lot, being the Carmelo Anthony of of Detroit. Like that dude, no defense whatsoever. He gives it up, and then you got Serge Ibaka, who can play good defense but just does not. And these guys probably will be matched up against each other. Who wins the fight of the shitty defender in this spot? Does Tobias Harris, play well against Ibaka at 1,000 more? Is Ibaka to play at 1,000 less on DraftKings? Like, who do you see, winning this matchup?
Tobias Harris is going to win this matchup easy. Serge Ibaka he's really not going to challenge him in the perimeter. And Tobias Harris is going to have his way. And Ibaka is going to let him shoot. So if Tobias Harris' shot is flooring, he's going to have a great game.
This really feels like one of those Tobias Harris spots. This feels like a Tobias spot where he gives you like 18 in the first quarter, and finishes with like 40 something. This feels like one of those Tobias Harris spots, and I kind of like him here.
Doesn't this spread? Doesn't that raise your eyebrow? Toronto's favored by 8.5.
It does. It does.
What are they seeing?
It does.
Is it the injuries?
Well, I think it's got to do some with injury. Of course, it's got to do with Kyle Lowry. Supposedly back to full strength, and of course, the Toronto Raptors being at Air Canada Center has got to have something to do with it. But and then we've seen Detroit struggle lately. Like Detroit hasn't been playing like stupid well. Ish Smith running the point is not something that you love. You know what I'm saying? But I think this 8.5 point total could kind of be the differential could be in trouble. I think the game stays closer than 8.5 points. So I'm gonna have some exposure to Drummond, to Tobias Harris. Avery Bradley may be out, and if Avery Bradley is out, and that means DeMar DeRozan runs free, I'm gonna have a piece of that too.
Honestly, the only thing that I really like from the Detroit side is Ish Smith. Kyle Lowry, I don't know. He kind of lets point guards do their thing. And the way Ish Smith generates his points, he's not really a scorer. But when he does score, that's when he has his big games.
Right.
But he's going to be dishing a rock. He can probably get a block or a couple steals. And we know that Kyle Lowry loves to turn that ball over. So that's automatically going to 4-4-1-5-3. So he turns the ball over. So Ish Smith is going to get some steals. So Harris and Ish, the only guys I like on Detroit. And Kyle Lowry, he is the only guy that I really like from Toronto. I looked at DeRozan. I looked at Ibaka. I looked at Val. Their matchups don't really scream play me, and I felt just comfortable. If, having the Kyle Lowry at 8K, I can do that.
What is DeRozan's price on FanDuel?
He's 9,100.
Okay, he's up there. He's 8.6 on DraftKings. Okay, cool. So and you can't ignore the fact that Drummond does give it up sometimes to centers, and then Jonas Valanciunas at 5.2 is a guy that may be usable, but I'm going to be Drummond here. I like Tobias Harris. That's where I'm at with this one. We can move on to the next game. The Golden State Warriors going to Chicago to take on the Bulls. 230 point total here. The Golden State Warriors are favored on the road by 10 points. So we got a home dog in the house. Kevin Durant 10-6. Steph Curry is 10-4. On the other side, we got Zach LaVine, fresh off a really nice performance. I think the minutes go up here. What are we looking at as far as the Bulls, man? Chris Dunn is 7-1. I kind of like that.
Chris Dunn, he's 7-8. And I don't believe in the spread. I really don't. I think Chicago, they're going to play scrappy. They're at home, and they're going to come to play against Golden State. So I really like Chris Dunn. All you have to do is take a look at his game log, and you will feel very comfortable in rostering him. 55, 39, 46, 20, 55. The guy is out there performing.
Yes.
He's going to get up for the Warriors.
Yes.
He's going to be ready. Even though last time he played the Warriors, he only had 9.2 fantasy points. All right. But this was in Golden State. And I think they probably blew the brakes out of Chicago during that game. So I like Chris Dunn. Zach LaVine actually piqued my interest. Klay Thompson really hasn't been that defensive guy that people think he is. And Zach LaVine showed me that, dude, he played 20 minutes and scored 36 fantasy points. Like, what in the actual hell? He had some peripherals too. When he got the steal, I was like, what? 5 assists and rebounds? Okay. I think Zach LaVine is ready, and Robin Lopez. I think he is. He's kind of 7 feet, 277 pounds. He should be able to run with Golden State. I don't know, 4,200. I mean, on DraftKings maybe,
Right.
but I don't know if I can fit him in on FanDuel.
Now, quick question from the YouTube fam. The homie Jared Allen says, the homie Sean McClendon asked about Jared Allen, the backup center from the Brooklyn Nets, and this is against San Antonio, bro. You know, it's a 10-game slate. I don't think there's a reason to go that deep and to get that jiggy with it. Of course, Tyler Zeller is now back, so he's probably gonna recommand that starting role. So 3.3 for him. You know, I don't think that you have to dig that deep on a 10-game slate. You don't think so?
No, man, that's more of like a 2 to 3 game slate move.
Yeah, you have to dig that deep. So
Yeah.
now for me, KD is in play at 10.6. I think he is going to be able to get out there on Marketing to defend that 3-point shot and make some plays on the perimeter on both sides, defensively and offensively. I like him. Steph Curry at 10.4. Yo, this team gives it all the way up to point guards. And Steph Curry at 10.4, you know, he's had some trouble making value over the last couple of games with 44 and 47 point performances. But before that, 54, 66, 50, 53, 52, 58. Like, the dude has been killing it. He's been shooting very well over the last 8 games. And I think that could definitely rear its head in Chicago here, where we both think this game is going to stay a little bit closer and we get that fourth quarter Curry that we need for him to make value. So I do like him, especially if Draymond Green is out, because, you know, he's a game time decision. Him and Andre Iguodala. So with no Draymond Green, I think Steph Curry, Kevin Durant stick out to me like a sore thumb here.
Well, I like Clay, Curry, and Durant. I think these guys are going to have their way. Klay Thompson, I'm not sure everyone's been keeping up, but, you know, Zach LaVine coming back does not mean that, you know, Chicago is going to stop giving up these big games to Klay Thompson. I mean, to shooting guards rather. And Klay Thompson, man, when that guy gets hot, nobody's stopping Klay Thompson. And he averages about 30 on the road, 7.3 on FanDuel. I can definitely do that. Steph Curry, I think Steph Curry is going to make it rain. I think 46 is okay at 10-2. I mean, especially on FanDuel, that's pretty close to 50. I can't complain. Steph he's been good to me, so I won't hesitate in liking him and KD. Especially KD. Markkanen is not a good defender, dude.
No.
He is not. I think KD is going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants. I really hope Draymond Green gets ruled out, but I think he's going to play.
Yo, give me an over-under on Robin Lopez minutes, because we know centers get run off the floor by the Golden State Warriors. Now, it has some RotoQL says 25 minutes for him, over or under 25 minutes for Robin Lopez.
I think they got it. He's probably going to be around 25, 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mirotic off of the bench at 5.6 on DraftKings. Looking kind of tasty. I kind of like that.
You like Mirotic? He's been terrible against Golden State, though, man.
They're gonna have to. He's gonna have to play well in order for. If we are right about this game being remotely close, he's gonna have.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be close.
He's gonna have to play well off of the bench. Like, it's him. Who else is it? I mean, I don't see the starters completely carrying the load and going ham.
You don't think so?
Nah. I mean, Justin Holiday.
Dude, Justin Holiday, man, don't shake a stick at him. Dude, he's had some really good games. 37, 18, 31, 26. That's not bad.
I'm counting on Robin Lopez playing under 25 minutes and getting run off of the floor, and then we seeing Nikola Mirotic playing some 5. And that's what I'm counting on happening. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. You're right. You're right. They might run Robin Lopez off the court. Okay, Mirotic might be in play.
I mean, that's their goal, bro. Their goal is to figure out, well, how can we sit your centers down? You know what I mean? Especially if he's good. So
that's true. And they kind of pulled a move the other game when they decided to play Jordan Bell.
They sat Jaja. Yo, can we stick a fork in Jaja? Is this shit over for him?
I don't know. It's kind of looking that way.
I'm so tired.
I was shocked.
15-minute playing ass.
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, next game we got is going to be New York Knicks. My New York Knicks going to Memphis to the Grindhouse to take on the Grizzlies. We've got a 202.5 point total. 1.5 point differential. There's some close games today. Some of the games are very close. Now, okay. First
Yeah,
things
this
first.
one's a mistake.
You think it's a
Yes, this is a mistake.
okay, well, let me fall back and sip my coffee. Go ahead. What you
Dude, Memphis is good. I'm sorry, man. Much respect to your New York Knicks, but I think they're gonna get mowed over here, man. They have no answer for Marcus Gasol. There's no answer for Tyreke Evans. There's no answer for JaMychal Green. And dude, I even like Dylan Brooks. I never play this guy.
Wow.
Never. I never played Dylan Brooks, but I'm going to be rolling him out against your New York Knicks. The only Knick that I might give a look is Courtney Lee. Apart from that, man, that's it. That's it, man. RIP to the Knicks. You can tune in if you want to, man, but it's gonna be ugly.
I play Andrew Harrison before Dylan Brooks.
Oh man, let's see the eye twitcher. See the eye twitcher?
Yeah, no. Point guards against us is a thing. All right, okay, but nah. Give me some Tim Hardaway Jr. 5.9. If he's playing, I can play Tim Hardaway Jr. Call me a Knicks homer if you want to, but I kind of like him. I think Courtney Lee, you were spot on with that one. And Kristaps, man, he's 8K. I can't do it. Shit.
No, dude, I'm telling you, man, just save your money. You know what? Tim Hardaway. You know what? I can see Tim Hardaway. Whoever starts, I like it.
Right. Like it. Because we may see Tim Hardaway crack the starting rotation again, and then that's gonna kill your Mike Beasley. You know what I'm saying? And he's 6.1 anyway, so you can't play him.
He's 5.4 on FanDuel
though. Ooh, that's usable. All right, next game we got is gonna be the Miami Heat going to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. 203-point total. The Bucks are sitting on a 4.5 point favorite tag. We got Giannis at 10.3, Bledsoe 7K, Goran Dragic, man, a guy who I've been playing over the last few games, 7.6 there. He gets Eric Bledsoe defense. If I had to pick a guy, a point guard in this game from either side, Goran Dragic would be, I think, a solid place to start, man. He's got Hassan Whiteside back, who seems to be approaching full health. The wings are knocking down shots. I would much rather this if we had Dion Waiters back, but I think Goran Dragic is in play, man. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's sad, man. Dion Waiters done. Went ahead and succumbed to that season-ending surgery. So I wish the guy well, man. But in terms of things that I like, it's actually Goran Dragic, and that's it. I'm actually you're gonna have to talk me into this game because this game does not look. We have two teams that love to play slow. Like Milwaukee, you can't run fast breaks against Milwaukee. They just don't let it. And Miami is comfortable with running this slow.
Right.
So this is probably going to be. I really don't see this being. I can't pay these prices for these guys with how slow this game is going to be.
What's Giannis' price on FanDuel? He's 10.3 on DraftKings.
He's 11.6. There's absolutely no way.
Okay. So I would say he's playable. I would say he's playable at 10.3 on DraftKings, and here's why. For the very same reasons that you mentioned, is that in a game like this where the pace is slow, that doesn't mean that you can't play anyone. All it means is there's a cap on how many players you can play. You can't play deep down on the starting rotation. You can play the stud and keep it moving. You can play Giannis Antetokounmpo, you can play Goran Dragic, and you get on with the get on. You don't stick around this game too long.
I wouldn't even do that. I mean, it's just, well, if you really want exposure to the game, I mean, go ahead. But I mean, in a game that's going to be so slow, like, bro, Bledsoe 7,300 against Dragic, no.
Right.
I mean, no. There's nothing. Nothing. Dragic against Bledsoe, I like that. But other than I can't do it. Nothing.
Right.
It's ugly, man.
All right, next game we got is going to be the LA Lakers going to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. This has been a good game a couple times this year, I think, already, right?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, man. So we've got Russell Westbrook. I think he is 11.6 here on DK. Steven Adams at 6.5. Ooh, that's jumping out to me there. I like that. I think that Paul George at 7.5 is in play because he's 7.5. And so we do get. Oh, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he can now travel with the team. So he should be good to go, right?
Yes, he is good to go. The man is free from jail.
Okay. So I'm going to take a look at him at 5.62. Lonzo, I think we had an injury to Lonzo Ball. He's a game-time decision. What are some of the things you see here? What do you think about this one?
Look, the one value cat that I'm looking at, because there are a couple key players that are game-time decisions. Dang on it. Well, Ingram is probable, so that just ruins everything. I was really looking forward to Josh Hart playing. Really looking forward to him playing. But since Ingram is, a game time decision and he's probable, that's probably going to shift Hart right back to the bench. Larry Nance, something about his hip, he's questionable. So we're going to find out more about that later. And I'm hoping, Alonzo Ball might not play, so that probably, Tyler Ennis, he's going to look appealing at min price, but not against the monster Westbrook. As a matter of fact, Josh Hart was the only guy that I had highlighted on the Lakers. And now that he probably might not play or start, rather, I really have no interest in the Lakers side. If I'm going to play anybody, it's going to be Westbrook and Terrence Ferguson. That's it.
No Steven Adams?
No Steven Adams.
Okay. All right.
Dude, Brook Lopez, for some reason, I mean, he might not get a lot of rebounds, but what I've noticed is he boxes out the hell, whoever he's guarding, he boxes them out and lets other people get the rebounds around him. Okay. So yeah, he's going to take Adams out of the picture.
And so I want to get to Lonzo Ball's injury. Like, what is ailing him right now? He has an absence from practice. All signs are pointing to the rookie missing his second straight game with a left knee sprain. If that be the case, bro, that means Josh Hart, this guy you can look at.
I'm looking, but the thing is, it's like, all right, so let's take a look at this. If Ingram is probable, out of Ennis, Hart, KCP, like who do you think is going to sit and not start?
Well, I think Ennis will probably. Did Ennis get to start last time? Because this situation just came up. Like they were just in a situation.
Yeah, I mean Ennis was the one who played.
Yeah, Ennis got to start. Yeah, because we all thought Hart was going to start, and then they ended up with the monkey with the monkey wrench, and then okay.
Hold on. Wait, on the 15th, both Ennis and Hart started.
Right. Was that? I think.
Hey.
I like Hart.
Yeah, if Hart starts, I'm all in. I like it.
Hart's just a better play. He's got more upside, man. He's just a better play. So yeah, Hart's gonna be in play for me. Julius Randle at 6.1. That's just too much for me on DraftKings. What's the price on Julius Randle on FanDuel? He's 6.1 on DraftKings. That is.
Yeah, he's actually more. So he's 6.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I can't fuck with that. I can't get jiggy with that. Maybe some Kyle Kuzma at 5.9. He looked like he was like hurt for a few games, but then he had a couple of decent performances. 38 against Memphis, 38 against Dallas. Both tough matchups. I kind of like him on DraftKings at 5.9, regardless.
He hasn't been getting minutes, but with the minutes, well, maybe he has 24, 30, 36, 29. I mean, it had. I mean, I don't understand the rotations. Like, you have this kid who's starting playing 40 plus minutes a game, dropping 55, 50, 30, 47, and then you move him to the bench just so you can give, I guess, Julius Randle, a go. I don't know.
That's that Walton shit, man. That dude. Look, Mike Malone Jr., man. Next game we got is going to be the Utah Jazz going to Sacramento to take on the Kings. A couple of things jump out to me right off the rip, and it's going to be Ricky Rubio, number 1, at 5.1. One of the cheapest guards on the slate. I like him. Yep. I think he's in a very good spot. Then we move over to Donovan Mitchell, who at 7.3 I think is in a very good spot. Then you look at Derek Favors, who at 6.4, who I think it's still in a good spot. It's a 10 o'clock game. These are some late night hammers. Now, would I play all three of these cats? Probably not. But I think if I want to use one of them as a late night hammer, this is definitely a game that I can get some of those exposures. So I'm going to highlight Rubio, Donovan Mitchell, Derek Favors. I like those guys. On the other side, I think De'Aaron Fox at 5.1 could be in play, especially if George Hill is not starting. If you don't, because they've been starting both of them over the last couple of games, and I wonder why they've been doing that.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you. I'm not sure what they're doing there.
Or Scals, and Scals is a game time decision too. I liked him last game. He didn't do much, but
Mr. Labissiere.
Yeah.
Let's see. Player news. I mean, that's not too bad for his price. Well, he's risen to 5,500, so that's a no.
Right.
I don't care if he's healthy. That's a no for me.
Right.
De'Aaron Fox is the only guy that stands out to me from Sacramento. This kid can actually ball. 26-31, 26-32, 24-35. And, I mean, he's around 6,200. I mean, I think that price is fair. I think Fox's price is fair. But then you look at Rubio, who's less, who probably averages more. You know, Rubio would probably be the guy that I roll out. And, hey, man, don't fault me for this, but if Jonas Jerebko starts, I'm going to roll him out. I'm definitely going to roll him out. Ekpe Udoh, man, that's a guy who was kind of had my attention. And then Mr. Royce O'Neal. Like, these guys come off the bench, and they are freaking fantasy point per minute monsters.
Right.
I mean, like 19 minutes, 22. Then you look at freaking Ekpe Udoh. He plays only 19 minutes and gives you 35.
I think Utah, they're still in that role where they're kind of now they're searching for a glue guy, because we know that Thabo Sefolosha was kind of the glue guy, the guy that helped the team transition from the first to the second team. He ended up playing minutes with both squads, and with him being out, somebody else has to do that. You know, Joe Johnson can't do it. They tried that. You know, Rodney Hood is too streaky of a shooter. He's slapping cell phones out of people's hands. And so we have seen Royce O'Neal come in and play some meaningful minutes over the last couple of games, and we've seen him go up from 7-8 minutes a game to 15. I think he played close to 20 minutes in one game recently. So he played 21 and 19 in his last two games. So yeah, I think there's some validity to take a look at those guys. Now, the one question I do have for you, give me Zach Randolph's price. Give me Zebo's price on FanDuel.
Zach Randolph is 5,400 on FanDuel.
Okay, he was just 4.9 on FanDuel. It didn't do nothing. And Scal started that game. So now Scal's game time decision could be out. You know, would that make way for Zebo at 5.9, 5.4, going back into the starting rotation? Could you see him in a spot that they're going to need him to play against Derek Favors? What do you think about Zebo in a starting role?
Funny thing is, I don't think Zach Randolph would be on Favors. He'd probably be on somebody like Jerebko. And probably, you know, if on the offensive side, it's probably going to be Jerebko on Randolph. So I like Randolph. Randolph's one of those, you know, just husky, like short but heavy set, old school. I'm going to bang you up if you try to stop me in the paint kind of players. And the man got some moves. I don't think Jerebko, if he checks him, is going to be able to keep up with him. So I like Randolph. That's a good point.
I've got to agree with that. Well, let's move on to the last game on the slate. It's going to be the Denver Nuggets on a back-to-back, second leg of a back-to-back, going to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. And we have seen some of the best shooters. I'm talking, sweet Lou has been
sweet Lou. Oh my goodness.
And bumbling and knocking down shots.
Yes, he has.
Man, he's been very good lately. And we look at Denver and being matched up against Gary Harris. You know, that's a little bit more formidable of a matchup. But a guy like Lou Williams, man, is a savvy veteran. Doesn't have to be open to knock down shots.
No, he doesn't. He's gonna make you foul him.
So I'm not afraid, bro. I'm not afraid to play him against Gary Harris here. What do you think about this game, and how would you be attacking it? Who would you be attacking in this spot? A better question.
I mean, let me say something, man. Sweet Lou. I mean, he was just in the 9,000s, and now he's 8,900 on FanDuel. I mean, if he doesn't have your attention, I mean, I've heard this. You know, I've actually listened to some people, and they feel like Lou Williams checks his price on the sites. And he's like, all right, 8.9. All right, I got you. I'll just go and throw me in there. Man goes out there and crushes value. Just So you got to give Lou Williams a look, especially with all these injuries. It almost seems like, Blake Griffin has allowed this guy to take over.
Right.
And Blake Griffin says, "All right, Lou, this is your quarter, right?" And we saw Blake Griffin. He came in the fourth quarter and just took the hell over. And I don't even want to talk about what happened at the end of the Rockets and Clippers game. That was crazy.
Bro, I was so pissed at this because why does Tyrone Wallace not get those valuable
Thank you.
fourth quarter
Oh
minutes,
my
bro?
goodness.
He was balling the whole game and
yes, he was.
Doesn't get those fourth quarter minutes. And I say that to say kind of as a segue, I like Tyrone Wallace again.
Absolutely.
In this spot, I think he's going to be still a good play. You look at DeAndre Jordan being out. Austin Rivers, of course, being out. Gallinari out. C.J. Williams, all those cats out. Man, who's going to get those minutes but Tyrone Wallace as a starter? So I like him. Willie Reed let a lot of folks down. I think you could go back to him at $4K on DraftKings. I don't know what the price is on FanDuel. But,
4.2.
There's some meat in the last game on this slate, man. It really is.
I'm going to be interested to see what kind of over-under they come up with and what kind of spread. Because Blake Griffin, I have him highlighted. I really like Tyrone Wallace, and I have no problem with rolling out Lou Williams. Willie Reed, I'm a little skeptical on Willie Reed because, I'm looking at what, Jokic is doing right now, and, he's limited the hell out of Dirk. Dirk has only played 22 minutes today, and he only has 12 fantasy points. So that's the only reason I have a little bit of hesitation on Willie Reed. But Wallace and Blake Griffin, I'm playing with my eyes closed. Murray is letting a lot of people down right now.
Oh, yes.
He is letting a lot of people down. And nobody's going to really look at him going to L.A. to face Mr. Milos, who really isn't a defensive threat. 6,700, yeah. A lot of people will not look at Murray. It's a good spot for him. And Harris against Sweet Lou. We all know Sweet Lou. He ain't worried about playing on defense. No. He's gonna let you score, and he's gonna drop.
He's gonna
make it rain. That's it. He's gonna make it rain on the other side. So Gary Harris definitely in play for me too at 6,900.
Wonderful. Now Wilson Chandler kind of sticks out to me at 4.1 as a very cheap salary saving option if you want to like a late night cheapie. Will Barton at 5.5 does stand out to me. We've seen Trey Lyles have pretty decent games over the last few, and I think that without having that DeAndre Jordan type presence, those are guys that could get down here and grab some boards. Mason Plumlee at 4.2, don't really love that one. So I'll highlight Trey Lyles. But Jokic, man, at 8.9. What do you think about Jokic, man? With no DeAndre Jordan matched up against Blake Griffin. What do you think about Jokic in this spot? I kind of like
that. That's going to be interesting. That's really going to be interesting with Blake Griffin at home. Let's not forget, man, Blake Griffin. He actually does play defense. He does play defense in the paint. I don't know. Jokic he's going to dazzle with his passes. I just don't know if he's going to really pull up a game that's worthy of 9.6 against Blake.
Real quick, Dame and C.J. McCollum have combined for 56 first half DraftKings points at sub 13% ownership. Kind of like that. It's pretty solid.
Wow.
Yeah. Might bring me back. So I need that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You know what? I went back and looked at Will Barton, man. But if he's going to be matched up with Wesley Johnson, I don't like it. Wesley Johnson, I really liked him the other night, and he came out and delivered, man. 40 fantasy points. I mean, when Capella went up, and he looked at Capella, sized him up, and went up there and blocked his shot, yes. I really like Wesley Johnson. 4K, not a bad guy to throw in your lineup if you need to save money. Not a bad guy at all.
Most definitely. So, we have gone over with you in depth today's 10-game NBA slate. Much appreciation. Big shout out to the homie Sam Alec the Drum. Took time out from his busy schedule to come get with us and to break down this slate with us. Thank you so much for being here, big bro. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
And see what we're doing now. What we did was we outlined our initial player pool. This is a foundational thing that we've done, and we're gonna take this and everything else that we can research throughout the day. We're going to bring that back to each other inside of the DFS Sweatshop VIP. And if you want to be there when we're in there, it's very simple, man. You can go to the website. It is www.dfssweatshop.com. Upon your paid subscription, you will be welcomed into the very best group online. That's where it all goes down. The magic happens, and we break it down, come up with great lineups. 2 ways to get in, man. It's very simple. First option is $14.99 per month. That's half a cup of coffee. That is 50 cents a day. 2 punk-ass quarters get you in. Then $119.99 is a full year-long subscription, 365 days of the DFS Sweatshop. And remember, baseball's coming up too. Baseball's coming up. We got golf, we got baseball. Football's almost over. Yo, we're good. We're good. So, yo, thank you, Sam the Drum, for being here, man. This is a DFS Sweatshop where we keep it real, we keep it honest, and we always keep it 300. Peace.